Hello there, YouTube, and welcome to a wet 41 degree Tuesday, the 2nd of December. Temperature is 43. Not much of a difference, is there? Holy moly. I'm not talking to you, Siri. She's just gonna keep going anyway, even though I black her out. But anyway, this ought to be a wet ride. It was only supposed to rain between 5 and 6, and then the rain comes back on Thursday. In fact, my watch still says rain in 2 days is what it's saying now. But no, it just keeps coming. She just said there's no chance of rain today. I don't even, because I have to say hey first. I've got it set up that way, but I don't know what it is. She just thinks I'm talking to her. I guess it's okay, because usually I'm wondering about something and she just comes up and answers it anyway. With our leafless trees, we're going to head off to work. Wish us luck in this nasty old weather. At least it's not pouring down, but with the freeways wet, it's just, you don't drive on the freeway, it's just a mist. But anyway, I'm going to bounce off. Hopefully I can find something to do at work today. 43 degrees. Hey, that's the same temperature it was at the house. 43 degrees here in Manchulo. It's just as kind of wet and misty the whole way. The weather didn't change.
Not a bit.
By the looks of it, not even the temperature changed.
No. It's yucky out there.
Yeah. It's going to be one of those days, I reckon.
And it's not supposed to be.
I know.
It's supposed to be just cloudy.
Yeah, it's supposed to be cloudy, no rain.
Yeah, it's February.
Yep. Pacific Northwest. It can change at any moment. Mama,
Yes, Paul.
let's go in there and bust out a Tuesday. How about it?
Oh, sounds like a plan.
Alrighty. Have yourself a wonderful day, and I'll see you as the day goes on.
Alrighty.
Alright. Love you. See you. Bye.
Love you.
Alright. Bye-bye now. Good Lord. Didn't realize it was this time. It's after 3 o'clock. I'm just sitting here on my old 2016 iPad Pro. The first of the iPad Pros. This is I think it's a 10-inch, 10.5 inch. I think it's 10.5. Here's a picture from 2014 when I was upstairs. There's the same boxes I was just showing you there yesterday. That's in 2014. I could have swore that I was back here in 2015. I think it was Kelly that came here in 2015. She came here after they closed down the Longview store. But I remember using it. There's a big boom hoist up there, and it swings around, and that's how I must have been putting something on a spider. Wow, imagine that. And that looks like an RT stand. It's a 1330, but it's obviously a standard model because the rest of them had the fancier fenders on them. 11 years ago. That's hard to believe. Holy moly. Hold on, let's see if there's anything else cool in here for today's pictures through the years. Here's one for you. That's looking across the backyard. Look how small these trees are. And the trees out in the tree farm. Isn't that crazy? What amazes me is like this tree here and this clump that you see sitting right here, that's that one tree that I walk underneath there with Sasha, and it's that massively tall tree. And all these kind of other ones that I think they're a different breed, they grow more out. But that's that big hole. That was just a big walk through. I remember walking through there with the horses, and there was no dark area there. It was open. It's crazy how them trees grow that daggum fast. And these over here, like this one, are just massive. It's crazy. It was obviously one foggy morning on December 2nd, 2014. See if there's anything else in here. This was last year, riding an option 719 R9T. Sad. We're not, what's the UPS guy? We're not far from being away from BMW for almost a year, wasn't it? Like January? Maybe it was in February. It's funny, I remember riding that thing. Like, I've got the white balance keyed for inside here, so the blueness and stuff, that's not the way the picture looks at all. But anyway, pictures of the day. I get those one thing I meant to mention yesterday, I just got to talking about tools and stuff and lost my mind. But right after, because I ended up with my family back and grandkids in October of last year, and I've noticed that all my pictures goofing around with the RC cars, that I have nothing. All of a sudden, everything is like 2 years ago, and on. I'm like, what's going on here? How come I don't have anything from this year? And I got to thinking, and I was talking to Kelly when we were driving home. She goes, since Christy and the kid, our grandkids, showed up, he goes, you haven't played with them RC cars at all. She goes, I think you went out there once after they got here, because I love my daughter and grandkids, but I was freaking out, stressing. How are we going to afford, where are they going to stay, because the bedrooms are still, my young Ryan, who you guys know him more than Kyle. Oh, and speaking of Kyle, he's our oldest son, our third oldest. It was Ashley, Christy, Kyle, then Ryan. His birthday's today. 35 years old. I remember him being born like it was yesterday. I remember going up the Portland Adventist, because that was near where we lived in southeast Portland, and being like a foot of snow out there on the ground. And the only thing that had any decent tires on it was a AMC Hornet, I think is what it was. And the heater wasn't quite working right. And we got it from Kelly's dad. It was a greatly delayed anniversary gift from her parents to her. It was her graduating college for executive secretarial stuff, which she's never a single day did it work in that position. And it's just nasty out there. But anyway, I think she graduated in 88. Kyle was born in 1990. And but anyway, we hardly ever drove it. And we drove that, and the heater, like I said, the heater wasn't working. So, they were just kind of going through tests, making sure she's actually, about to have the child and whatnot. So, it was just this holding pattern, just waiting. They were timing what her things were and stuff like that. And anyway, I walked out into the parking lot there at the hospital, checked that radiator, and I mean, it was rust water. And with it running, it lowered it enough I could look down, into the cooling tubes, and yeah, it was mostly plugged. And I think the heater core, because it's a much smaller, I think the passageways, because the heater core just looks like a little miniature radiator, I think the heater core was just smaller and couldn't take the rust. And I remember trying flushing that thing out, and just, it was the nastiest thing ever. And I think we got the heater working, but we just, come to think of it, I think we still had that. Yeah, I've had that truck, that green Toyota. I don't think, I had it in that carport since I've been doing videos with you guys, but I've had it since, what was it? Oh, it was right. It was 2 years old. It's a 77, or was that 3 years old? No, it had to be 4 years old because I knew Kelly when I got it. So I think it was sometime in 81. But anyway, that's what, literally at one point we're driving all the kids around in that truck. It's crazy. Then all the seatbelt laws came around. I was safe. I don't get in car wrecks. I've done some stupid things in cars, gotten wrecks, but never with my family in there. But man, that's just the way the world was back then. Didn't worry about that kind of stuff. But yeah, how that got from the RC cars to that, I have no idea. I just like penny rolled across the floor and I just took off chasing it. But yeah, I haven't officially. It's been over a year since I've pulled an RC car out. When I pull one out, it becomes a whole fiasco. I can't. There's no. That's very comforting to me. That's why I really enjoy the rock crawler things now. You know, I was all into the nitro powered, gas cars, and I love the fast stuff. And I'm just not into that anymore. I like relaxing, just like I don't ride sport bikes and go fast stuff anymore. But so it wasn't relaxing. I could not go and play with the RC cars and not. I mean, granted, the grandkids love it, but I lost that, that peacefulness. You go for a motorcycle ride by yourself, or you can be with somebody and you gotta get the same experience, but you just take off and you ride along. It's just that boom, that calming sensation. Well, I deeply get that out there goofing around with rock crawlers, especially the rock crawlers, goofing around, going over things and just having a ball. Man, my mind just goes 1,000 miles away. I mean, there's not a medicine made that can have the same calming effect as that. But yeah, it just became more of, I want to say a battle, but it wasn't a battle. It was I guess a battle trying to find the serenity and calmness that I got out of my rock crawlers, and I just can't get that anymore. And I think it's one of those things. Well, just I can wait. She'll find another place in a month or so, and just go back to Kelly and I being Kelly and I. Well, it's been over a year now. So now, I was thinking about that last night. I even was in there poking around. In that closet. That's pretty much. I got a couple of like my bags for taking trips on motorcycles, and my RC car stuff, like some tools and extra parts and all that stuff. I have that in there, but I don't even go in that closet. But anyway, I went in there night before last, which was Sunday night, and I was in there just looking at the cars. I got them dust, those clear dust covers all over everything, and they're all just sitting there happy as you please. I'm wondering, I think batteries are in some of those cars, and I never, how you put them in storage mode. I think there's some of those I didn't do that to, and I hope and pray there's none of them that are plugged in. I accidentally did that with that Traxxas Rustler, and I left the battery plugged in. I turned it off, but it sacked that battery. Remember, I did the little thing trying to save it, and I got it back, and I was trying to charge it, and I had it in the most safe mode, and heard that thing starting to crackle. You never leave, especially when you're reviving one, never leave one alone. And I could hear that crackling sound. I go in there, she's swelling up like a punctured puppy, and threw it in a great big old pot and ran out there and set it in the middle of the driveway in case she went off. And I think it was a nice cool day that day that happened. In fact, I think it was like freezing cold out there. That was probably 3 years ago. And I just let it sit out there. Went out there and it was stone cold and dead. So I cut the leads off of it so it couldn't be accidentally used. And I think I went by the Traxxas store, or I think it was the one over here, or by the mall out this way. And it turned they'll take a dead battery and dispose of it properly. I'm not even sure where you're supposed to take them. I know you're not supposed to throw them in the trash for obvious reasons. But the point I bring that up is, it's been over 2 years. Over a year since I have put a controller in my hand. Even the little minis that I buzz around in the house, that really created a fiasco. And Raylyn was a year younger, and them things buzzing around is like you just gave them some kind of a sugar pill or something. You know how sugar makes them just get excited? They're running, just bouncing off the walls. I thought it was so cool, and it just there's no peace to it. I'd have these little courses in there, and Kelly would be sitting there watching her show. She just got to where she just ignored the little sound of because those are brush motors that I have. Now all those things are all brushless. You can buy the brushless motor kit for them too, but even the small ones are all brushless now. Sure, they run a whole lot better. But I was on those rainy days, and I just make up all kinds of things. I'd use pieces of furniture and pillows and all kinds of stuff. I'd make these things in here like a silly kid putting up his little Hot Wheel track in the living room, Fun times. Oh, the folks, there was a delay. Oh, I gotta tell you this. There's a delay in those folks coming and picking up that Sea to Sky. They were supposed to be here last Friday. And they're coming, farther east from us, Montana, somewhere around there. And they're going to be here tomorrow. But they called all in a panic because I did the video on that Sea to Sky where I put the trunk shock in there. And they called and talked to their salesman, freaking out. Shawn, just post a video of our bike. And he goes, did you sell that thing? No. He had to look and see what was going on. He just went into my channel and seen the list and seen because I did a thumbnail of it. And he goes, no, that was somebody else. And the salesman actually knows the gentleman that owns that Spider. And anyway, I remembered his email got hacked, and I got an email from him. I think it got hacked through Facebook. And anyway, I go, oh geez, I gotta call him and tell him that I got an email. To come to find out, his whatever hacked this thing, it emailed the service writers up front, and so everybody knew about it. And so anyway, he'd already figured it out and got it fixed. So scary. Well, this time of year, always around the holiday season, people are so crazy, buying online and whatever. They're trying to hack people. But anyway, I thought that was funny. They thought we sold it. I must have said something in there. I thought I made it clear it was a customer's bike. I don't know. It might have been one of those things because it was a 2024 and it looked brand new. And they probably just put two and two together, and I was fixing it up for the new owner. I do need to get that thing and make sure it's got the most up-to-date software and stuff on it too. And I guess they're coming in tomorrow. They're going to set them up with headsets and stuff like that. Man, we've had, I think, 3 or 4, maybe 5 people that come in and don't realize that Apple CarPlay, which kind of says it all in one shot there. They have Android phones and are very upset that they can't run Apple CarPlay with their Android phone. And I've heard that Android or Google is working with that, and that could change. So hopefully that'll be good news for the future. For the folks that still running Androids can, hopefully use Android Auto on their Spiders, because they abandoned the motorsports side of things. So that would be good. I heard that, I don't know if this is true or not, if it's a rumor or whatever, that GM maybe next year for the 27 models will not have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. They're going to have their own setup. Now, I can imagine, because you are going to alienate a lot of people. People love their Apple CarPlay. I mean, I just absolutely, that's just like a traveling companion. And I would imagine it'll probably be something added to it. I don't think they're going to abandon Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. That would be bad news. Anyway, enough yakking. I'm sitting here storytelling. We're just yammering on. This is the last video I did with an RC car, and this was August 8th of last year when I took the Fusion out. I have no other videos that I took. I was driving them all the time, but that's the last video I did, was August 8th of last year. That's crazy, man. Makes me want to take that Fusion out like right now. That thing is so cool. Absolutely love that little RC car. It's crazy. Everything else just goes farther back. It's nuts. Where did all that time go? Yep, she's still empty. Man, look at that. That's why I tell you, it turns into a mirror facing in, or I can't see out. Where, when it's daylight, they can't see in. I mean, they can they literally have to cup their hands around their face to see in here in the summertime or when it's daylight out. It's crazy how reflective those things are. But it's funny how it can work in reverse. Just looking back at myself there, I'm telling you how dark it is. You can't even see. But we're about 4 minutes from bouncing out of here. We'll head to the homestead. Call it another day. Be fun talking to Spider people tomorrow. I need to make sure that thing's up to date too. We have to bring it down here because it's got to run. I guess I could go up there with the computer, but it needs to be on the battery's got to, it needs to be on a charger, or just down here idling, because the voltage has to be high. 'Cause I'm sure whoever did the UVI didn't check for that. But anyway, we'll see all that tomorrow. They're going to be here for a little bit, because I guess one of the service advisors is going to hook up some headsets. I don't know if they get in Cardo, Cena, or one of those. It needs to be USB 5 or higher, which I don't think we have anything old enough that wouldn't be the case. But anyway, got some fun stuff to mess with tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Hope you are too. Well, hello there, you two. Nice dry drive home tonight. That was nice. Wasn't expecting that at all. But the crazies were
drivers.
Absolutely out.
Man.
I mean, got to be 90, 100 miles an hour, weaving through traffic.
It was nuts.
You're in rush hour traffic. There's just going to be traffic. And I mean, people riding down the rumble strips, trying to get people to come out of the way, and flying down the slow lane, diving across all 3 lanes. Absolutely crazy. Finally settled down about Longview, Kelso. No,
we're still crazy.
Yeah.
I think
Somewhere
on the other
past
side of Castle Rock.
Yeah, the other side of Castle Rock. I think they finally all settled down. But wow, crazy. But anyway, that's all we got for you today. I guess on that we should probably roll out, because all I've done is talk to you.
Talk. Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same Smoak time, same Smoak channel. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And you guys have a wonderful Wednesday or Thursday.
Heck yeah. Appreciate you watching.
Yes.
We'll see you tomorrow.
We see you then.
Thanks now. Bye-bye.